Work's over. And now it's time to go off the clock. Your favorite destination for the hottest sports topics, fantasy insight, betting lines, and game predictions. Sit back, kick off your shoes. You can even crack a cold one. And enjoy the show. Now, here are your hosts, Tyler, Jake, and Rob.
What is up, fellas? Good
How's it
evening.
going? Good evening. I am
You survived
exhausted.
that blizzard?
I fucking survived it. That
Yeah.
shit was fucking like my wife was like sitting there like freaking out, and then I'm like sitting there trying to focus on the fucking road with like snow squalls like in my face. I'm like, bro, let me
Getting
fucking
balls in
drive.
your face. You gotta love it. All right.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I love balls in my face.
And then, Jake, you got done looking at some wedding venues today.
Yeah, that was
Cool,
yesterday.
man.
I think we found one, and then
Or that was yesterday.
you got
I think
you got to move in this week into your house, right?
Next week. So I think closing. As of today, closing got pushed up 2 days earlier. Just because
So when are
everything's
you
ready to
closing on
go.
your house
But
now?
what's up?
When are you gonna close on your house now?
It's supposed to be Tuesday, so next Tuesday, almost a week
Nice.
from now. But
Ready, man.
we may have to move it back to the original date because I shopped around with some insurance companies for homeowners and stuff and got a better deal. So underwriters have to take that back and change up a few things, but it is what it is. But we're heading into week 10 of the NFL season, fellas. I think this is the
Flying
first
by.
show back with Rob since the World Series ended. My prediction was 100% correct.
I was pretty close. I mean,
You got the game wrong and the team wrong. I don't know if that's close now, Rob.
I picked up this little baby. I showed you guys this, like Carlos Correa.
Carlos
You don't
Correa.
like Rob. You're a hater. We don't want
Nice.
you inside.
You gonna hold on to that thing?
I am. It's freaking already authenticated. I got it for like $45.
Nice.
It's for 9.5 gem mint.
Whenever,
So I was like, fuck it.
Whenever I move into my new place, I'm taking all my sports memorabilia from my stepdad's house where I grew up as a kid. I'll
And
show
then
you
look,
guys some cool stuff.
I picked up this for $1. Frank Thomas rookie card.
Nice.
Tiger, are you gonna take all your Bird Dog bottles with you and set them up?
No, I didn't keep any of those, man. Hell no. No Bird Dog bottles. Man, I haven't tasted Bird Dog. I think actually the last time that I got it was 2019. I went up to College Station to watch A&M Alabama. In Troy, we got an Airbnb with a couple other people, and we went and bought a bottle for old time's sakes. But
are you gonna keep a front bedroom open in your new house like your old house?
not this go around. I'll have 3 bedrooms open though.
Whenever me and
Actually,
Tyler were
2.
whenever we were in college, Tyler had this house. It was a 3-bedroom, and the room that was right by the front door, it was a 4.
Yep.
Well, the one I remember, it was the front room was literally the size of a closet. That's why nobody lived in it, because nobody wanted to move into it.
Yeah, the bathroom was tiny too, but
his
someone
roommate
moved into it.
Do what?
Someone did move into it.
Oh, well,
I think you had left already.
But
it's funny.
Yeah, fellas. Well, all right, I got something for you guys. Fantasy football trade deadline's coming up. I know we want to talk on a couple things, and we're on a short time frame, but fantasy football trade deadline's coming up. If there's one guy that you'd want to be targeting right now to trade for and trade away, where you could at least still get some value for him, I'm not talking about like a Darrell Henderson where you're going to get nothing. You might as well drop that guy now. But I want to hear 2 names. One that you want to trade for, and one that you would like to trade away that you can get value on.
Take a quick look through all this.
I'm gonna go. I'm trading away Aaron Jones. I mean, he's the only person in that offense that's actually producing anything. Now with Romeo Doubs out, like I don't know who else is Aaron Rodgers going to throw to on the offense. But he's the highest producer. I feel like you get the most value out of him. I mean, I've seen him do Aaron Jones 1 for 3, so you might get a lot of value back for him. And I'll be targeting Debo. With McCaffrey there, Debo's value is kind of down, and plus he has that hamstring, so you could get him for like a peanuts and a milkshake, if you know what I mean.
All right. Well, I know that you have him in our league, so
I
maybe we'll
know.
talk some business after this because I am intrigued with Debo Samuel. I like that. Jake, what do you got
Yeah.
for me?
So somebody else is intrigued too, and he sent me a trade. It got
I just get happy feet.
denied. They got denied.
You got 2 names for me, Jake?
Come on, Jake.
He's weighing his options. I can go if you want. You want a little bit more time to think this over. I know we didn't really have a script today. Just hopped on here, but he's been super busy. But all right, I'm going to give you a name that I want to trade for right now. If you're in need of a running back, I think James Conner for the Arizona Cardinals would be a really good asset to go after. He's been hurt for the past few weeks. He did come back last week, and even with the limited role, he still out-touched Benjamin, I think 3-1. And he's a guy that, with D-Hop now back, they're not going to be able to stack the box as much. And when Marquise Brown comes back later towards the fantasy football playoffs, James Conner might get a lot of good looks here moving forward. But, I like that guy. I think you can get him on the cheap, too. I think maybe I don't know, would you trade DJ Moore for James Conner if you had DJ Moore?
Yeah, if somebody said I'll give you James Conner for DJ Moore, I'd 100% take it.
Okay, what about James Conner for let's throw out T. Higgins? Is that too much?
I would consider it because T. Higgins, in my opinion, has been a bust this year.
I would do I was trying to think. Who would I do that for?
What about Chris Olave for James Conner?
I would do that in a heartbeat. If I needed a wide receiver, Chris Olave is to me, he should win Rookie of the Year, but he's not going to because of the team he's on. If that makes sense.
Or because of Kenneth Walker.
Well,
if he continues this pace. Olave's been a really good fantasy football wide receiver.
Oh yeah, I have him in my Yahoo league. He's great, but again, he should win Rookie of the Year, but he won't because of the team he's on.
So if you have him, would you trade him for James Conner? If you need,
now my Yahoo league is draft pick, so I would do the trade if I got a 3 back. So I would do Chris Olave, maybe a low draft pick, like a 7 or 8 for James Conner and a 3.
That's a lot of draft capital. That's a whole different story, though.
Well, that's what I would do because he's such talent. I think he averages maybe 12 points a game. And Michael Thomas is out. Alvin Kamara's, everyone's guarding him. So who else is they're going to throw to? Chris Olave is sitting right there. And if we're talking about the value of people, and we talk about, like you just said, James Conner is going to get tons of targets because of D-Hop and Hollywood coming back. And then you still got Zach Ertz on that team. Chris Olave is pretty much the only person on that team outside of the name Alvin Kamara to get the rest of those targets.
I got you.
I got my 2 guys.
All right, go ahead, and I'll give you my guy that I'd want to trade away right now.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Now finish that off.
All right, my guy that I want to trade away right now, which I currently don't have him. I didn't have a high enough draft pick, and this might be you guys might not agree with me, but I think the value that you could receive back for him, even still right now.
Is he an offensive? Not offensive.
Are you going to say Jamar Chase?
Is he a tight end?
No, he's not a tight end. He's a wide receiver, and I think he's currently wide receiver 2 or 3. And you have him in our league, Jake, but Mr. Cooper Kupp. If you could trade away Cooper Kupp right now,
for what?
Obviously it'd be a really good package, but Matthew Stafford's dealing with a concussion now. Their offense is sputtering. Cooper Kupp the last couple of weeks has been touchdown dependent, man. Their offense is sputtering. I think if you could get a 2-for-1 package, like a Ramondre Stevenson or a Travis Etienne, and give me another receiver that's, top 15 receiver, I might consider that if you're really needing some help. Now, if you have a deep team, you probably want to keep Kupp. But if you need a little bit of help in
Would
other
you
places, I think you can get really good value for him. And I don't know if he's going to continue the pace with their
would you
offense sputtering the way
would you
that
do would you do a DK Travis Etienne for him?
Oh, of course. The fuck? Travis Etienne's a walking
Yeah.
20 bomb. DK is going to get you 15. I would do that in a heartbeat. I hope somebody sends that to me. Actually, Henry Sport can send that to me. He has both of them. I might just send that to him right now.
I mean,
Well, no, he doesn't. No, he has Stevenson. Someone else has Etienne. Damn.
No, DK is somebody that, I mean, obviously he's had a pretty solid year so far. Do you trust Geno Smith to continue what he's doing, though?
I mean,
Do we have large enough sample size so far? I mean, we're halfway
I
through the
think
year.
we're halfway through the year, and he's Seattle's first place, and
So-
and a division that has the Niners, the Rams, and I forget,
Cardinals.
and the Cardinals.
So that segues into my statement. It's kind of funny I'll bring up DK. My trade for target that I would want on my team is Tyler Lockett. He's a top 10 receiver in fantasy right now. He's had double-digit points scored in all but 2 games. He's the number 9 receiver right now, and you wouldn't even know. You'd probably laugh if I said he was the number 9. You'd be like, no way.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
No, but I mean, that's
He's one of those
Tyler
guys
Lockett's
that
always
flies
been-
under the radar. He's not some big superstar that's going to make, you know what I mean? He's just going to get his. And
Yep.
so that's definitely somebody. When I looked and he was number 9, I couldn't believe it. And that's obviously a testament to Geno as well. I got offered before I got Kyler from who I got him from. He had Geno as well. He said, "You sure you don't want Geno?" I was like, "Nah, I don't want Geno, man. I'd rather have Kyler." Now I'm kind of we're second guessing it. Well, I am second guessing it, but
I have Geno in my NFL league, and I'm first place, and I don't even have to worry about the quarterback as Geno. He gives me at least 17 a game.
And so my must sell player is Deontay Johnson.
I just don't know. I just don't know if you can get much for him.
So I feel like people have some optimism because he's coming off a bye. Maybe the bye kind of regrouped them. He is a big charge. Claypool. So it's like I feel like if you can talk somebody into, like, you know what I mean, if you're good with negotiating on trades and can hype him up, maybe you can, like, I don't know. I just don't even know what he's worth. Like, I just feel like I don't want anything to do with it.
Okay, that's going to be my question for you. Say you have Deontay Johnson on your team, and he's one of those guys that goes in and out of your flex, and you're trying to get rid of him. What kind of value are you looking at trying to get?
So would you have done that trade?
Take?
Take out those 2 tight ends of the trade that just happened in our league. Would you rather have Deontay Johnson or DJ Moore?
DJ Moore.
DJ Moore.
And the main reason being, I think that DJ Moore, I mean, it's hard to say that he's the better receiver, because I think if I was like starting a team, it'd be a toss-up. But I think DJ Moore, they're gonna be playing from behind, like big time behind. They're in Carolina the rest of the year, and the Steelers still have a solid defense. They might, be trying to grind out games, not going in the air as much. They got a rookie quarterback, obviously. Now PJ Walker's, nothing, to brag about.
No, I think Baker's now starting now because he's back.
Is he? I thought I saw PJ Walker's projections.
No, I saw Baker going to start.
They announced Walker as the starter still.
I thought.
But yeah, that's an interesting deal. I just think that DJ Moore
Walker will
provides
start
that.
Thursday's matchup against the Falcons. That came out Monday.
Yeah, that's tomorrow night. I mean, here's the way I look at that trade, though. Unless how it was in our league, unless there's other pieces involved, that's almost just like a toss up. Like, I don't know if I'd be.
I was actually mistaken, T. Gray. I apologize to our viewers. It's late. I'm tired. It was not DJ Moore. It was actually Curtis Samuel. I apologize.
Oh, well, I would definitely rather have Deontay Johnson than Curtis Samuel.
One team gave up David Njoku and Curtis Samuel, and he received Taysom Hill and Deontay Johnson.
Can we just talk about Taysom Hill? Can we stop saying Taysom Hill's a viable fantasy football player?
He belongs on the waiver wire, and he's tied in number 6 right now because of that big performance.
I don't understand why people just like buy in on this whole Taysom Hill.
Look, if Taysom Hill's your starting tight end and he's the only tight end on your roster, I think that you do have some issues. Now, I think if you have to stream a tight end, he's not a bad not a bad streaming tight end.
He's not a bad.
He might get
he's
some
not a
goal line
bad.
carries. You just can't predict what's going to happen.
He's
in the
not a
game.
bad tight end to have on a bye week on your tight end. Like he's a good
I'm
game.
saying a streamer.
Yeah, but
But
like,
you're hoping and praying. Like you're
Yeah.
not. You're expecting maybe 3 or 4 points, and if you get 30, you're obviously going crazy. You know what I mean? It's like he's either going to get you 3 or 30. I feel like.
I saw the trade go through, and I'm like sitting there. I'm like, why are we? No, like I wouldn't even like consider Taysom Hill. Remember,
So the
Jake?
person Go ahead, Rob.
We had that guy in our work league. Well, you no longer work with me anymore, but we had that guy, and he was like all up Taysom Hill's butt, like saying like he just scored 22. He's he's one of the best tight ends. He would not trade at all. This is the guy that had Jamar Chase, and I got him for like peanuts of the nickel. And he went from 22 to like 5-0-1-1-0, and then he finally made the trade. We need to stop looking at Taysom Hill as an actual tight end. He's not a tight end. He's one of those wildcat people that come into the game as a decoy for another person.
He's a boomer bust fantasy player, no doubt
sure.
about it.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned somebody a minute ago, David Njoku, who I want to talk about for a second.
He's solid.
So before his injury, and they just came off the bye, Cleveland did, so you got one more extra week to rest. Before his injury, I think he was like tight end 6, maybe tight end 5.
Yeah. He's tight end 9 now in ESPN.
Now, I had him in one of my leagues. I dropped him because it's a 14-man super deep league. He was obviously hurt and had a bye coming up, so I dropped him a couple of weeks ago because I had to. And I actually picked up Taysom Hill for 2 weeks. Now, because was very patient in the waiver order, I was second on the order, so I got him back. I was very scared and skeptical to use my waiver wire since I was so high up on the list and drop all the way down to, I think I'm at 12 now. But, I think when you're going into this part of the season, this is the time to use those like it's the time to make big time moves that can potentially help you win your league.
Rob, you're sitting at the number one waiver priority. I know you don't believe in paying for the waiver pickup because you have to pay $1, but are you solely just not wanting to pay, or are you maybe just like, look, man, there's nobody on there that's going to make a difference?
I mean, I look at it like this. I mean, yeah, I'm first, but like most of the time when I go try to get somebody from the waiver wires, like I don't get them. So I just kind of just stop trying on the waiver. It's not about paying $1. I don't care. I don't care about paying $1. $1, I could give you $1.
But if you're first, you're gonna for sure get the guy if you're first.
But then when I'm first, and what I'm saying is like there's no one I
sitting
want.
Waiting.
Yeah, I'm just like I don't know who I want that I desperately need. Like
there's nobody on the waiver wire that's worth that. Like if you're all the way up there, there's nobody on there.
Yeah,
at this point in the year, it's tough because all those guys, they've already been cycled through. Unless there's some big time injuries.
Like my Yahoo league, I saw some guy he dropped the Niners defense, and I used one of my waivers as like getting him, and I got the Niners defense. I mean, I had the freaking Packers defense, so that's like an upgrade. But like, I just every single time I trust the waivers, I never get what I want, so I just stopped doing it. It has nothing to do with the dollar. I just don't try it anymore.
I had top 2 waiver priorities this past week, and I've been sitting on them, and I used them both this week. I got Njoku, and then I got Jeff Wilson as the other pickup.
Who dropped Jeff Wilson? I mean,
I believe it's a 10-man league.
Ants dropped Jeff Wilson in our league as soon as McCaffrey the news broke, he dropped Jeff Wilson immediately.
That makes no sense.
So I didn't like that move on his part, but
So Tyler, I have a question for you regarding trades. Why do you think you're so hard to trade with? Do you truly just?
I don't.
No, I'm being serious.
I don't think me being hard to trade with is the right thing to say.
Do you think? I guess I just like.
I've made 3 trades, which I just told you is the most that I've ever made in a season.
Okay, I guess I'm just more so pertaining to like. I guess it's just different thought processes because it's like you're sitting at 3-6, 5 games left. You know what I mean? You have injured only really Mike Williams.
I mean, like I've had a few roster conundrums, not only just Mike Williams, but like I said earlier before the show started, I'm 5th in points scored.
But that doesn't matter. Your record matters.
Well, I understand that at the end of the day, the record does matter, but there's 5 weeks left, and I'm 2 games back from a playoff spot. There's a lot of games left, and I don't want to blow up my team when I think that I have a playoff caliber roster, if that makes sense.
For sure.
And in fantasy football, I've seen it so many times where the guy goes, has 2 losses all year or something, and they lose in the first round of the playoffs. All you have to do is get in.
Yeah,
that's all you got to do. And
that's what you go for. You just play to get in. But Tyler,
are you still a believer in Antonio Gibson?
I think I'm more of a believer right now than I was 2 weeks ago. Brian Robinson hasn't produced. Just flat out, he hasn't produced. Antonio Gibson, more yards per carry, better catching the ball out of the backfield. He opens their offense up a little bit more. Now, I think the share is still going to stay pretty similar, but I think Antonio Gibson is definitely a viable flex RB2, RB3 fringe player.
I think he's definitely a viable flex.
So, I'm not too worried about him right now. I think, at least in terms of my team, I want Mike Williams to come back in a week. I believe he'll be back in a week or 2 at the most, and he'll go into my flex, and then I'll have, Gibson, Pollard, or I'm thinking of someone else too I was thinking of someone else, but basically 3 guys to choose depending on matchups for my RB2 with Cook. So, to be honest though, my team in our league, it's going to come down to if Justin Herbert starts playing well, because he's really been holding me back this season. And I think anybody out there that did draft Justin Herbert this year is going to be saying the same thing, where you had to take him, his ADP, compared to guys like we mentioned, Geno Smith. Like, it's night and day. So we'll see once they get healthy there in LA. Maybe he'll start playing.
Why do you think Dak's fantasy projections are so low this week? Or are they like 14 point something?
14.6, but
that's an ESPN. In other leagues or in other platforms, he's much higher projected.
Well, Rob, why do you think they're so low?
Well, the Packers secondary is still pretty good. It's not like their secondary shit.
You think the Packers have a chance to win this weekend?
Now Aaron Rodgers throws 2 picks on the 5.
I think when you have Aaron Rodgers, you always have a shot to win now.
Yeah, but I don't know. This year, maybe he took too much of that psychedelic drug and too many
mushrooms.
His reaction's a little slow this year.
I don't fucking know what the fuck. I was just like,
their offensive identity is just nowhere to be found. Their offensive line is their biggest issue on their team.
Is Bakhtiari or whatever, however you say his name, is he out?
Bakhtiari.
No, he's not out. He's
still been pulled out a few times though, which is so weird.
It's just that they're just afraid that he's gonna re-injure his knee. Honestly, you know what I hope? I hope we just fucking. I just hope now we just absolutely just suck ass for the next fucking. How many weeks are left in the season? 8 more weeks or 7 because of their bye. 7 more games. I hope we suck ass for 7 more weeks. And just get a super high draft pick and just figure it out at that point. Because right now we're. What?
Could you see Rodgers getting benched this year?
That's a good question. If they're sitting at like 4-10, Rob.
Yeah, I would see it. Like, you kind of want to throw Jordan Love some love out there. I honestly can see fucking Rodgers getting traded this year.
Show me some love.
Well, trade deadline's passed, so he can't be.
Well, traded. I'm talking about in the offseason. Like, right. If let's say week 14, right? If the Packers have lost 3 out of the 4, which is very possible to play Dallas, Tennessee, Philly, and Chicago. If they lose 3 out of those 4, Jordan Love will start the rest of the year.
Man,
Tigre, how do you feel? Tigre, how do you feel about Jerry Jones, his boy that wants to come to Dallas? I saw you tweeting it about it today, and you dropped him in fantasy, and I snagged him, which I'm really appreciative of. How do you feel?
I picked him up a little too early there. I had to make some moves.
How do you feel about Mr. Odell Beckham?
In terms of becoming a Cowboy?
In terms of becoming a Cowboy and in terms of his production when he gets back.
Here's the thing about Odell. You don't know what his health is like right now. Is he in shape? Is he not in shape?
You're getting Odell based just solely for the playoffs. You're not getting Odell for.
Tyler, they want him?
Give me the contract that he's going to be given, and I'll tell you that.
I don't know Dallas's cap. Like, I don't know salaries on.
They have space this year.
Yeah, but I heard he wants a long-term
He wants a
deal.
multi-year deal, and I think that's going to be the biggest deterrent of this whole thing. And I think that's going to be the case for a lot of these teams. And what he's probably doing is he's going to sit there to the last, dying hour for a team to give him that multi-year deal that really thinks that they're, one piece can put them over the top. Someone like the Chiefs or the 49ers or the Bills or
I don't see him going to the Chiefs. I don't see him going to the 49ers. Him and the Bills would be interesting.
I mean, what if in a matter of a few weeks the Chiefs go from Juju, Hardman, who else am I missing?
They have Tony,
not him yet.
Scantling.
Yeah, Scantling, Hardman, and Juju, and then they go to Juju, Tony, and Odell.
I just don't see it.
I mean, think about that type of upgrade. And obviously, you got the best person that wasn't mentioned on their team, Travis Kelce. So
I think their biggest
Odell's going to sit and wait, and unless he's like ready to go, if he just needs a week or two to learn a playbook and to get into game shape, then he's going to wait. And I think at that point, it's going to be the team that really is looking. If they have an injury here in the next couple of weeks or something like that, say like a Gabe Davis goes down for Buffalo for like a high ankle 6-week type of deal. I bet you they reach out. What
about a little reunion with the New York Football Giants?
Man, that team is it's mind-boggling to me that the Giants are sitting in the position that they're at because
Saquon should be MVP of the league.
I disagree with that, but I think that team is overperformed big time.
Who's your MVP right now, Tyler?
Name actually. Who's your MVP and who's your non-quarterback MVP?
If I had to vote right now on an MVP, I think you have to give it to Hurts. And I hate to say it, but I mean, if you compare him, I mean, he's leading in many different categories, and obviously being undefeated is probably the most important in my eyes when it comes to MVP because it's typically a quarterback that's very successful. Now, Josh Allen, maybe before this week, has a really good argument to make, but after what we saw last week, but that's why it's over the whole season. But in terms of non-quarterback MVP, that's a tough one, man.
Saquon.
Tyreek.
I still think you take. I think you take Tyreek off that team. You still have Waddle. You still have a bunch of people. If you take Saquon off the Giants, they're 2-15 at best.
Yeah.
I mean,
no Danny Johnson is not going to throw. Who's going to throw to? I mean, like.
I think another non-quarterback MVP could be a Micah Parsons or a Matthew Judon for the Patriots, the sack leader in the NFL right now.
I don't think you give MVP to Judon. I agree. He's a dog. What does he sit at 11.5? Definitely Defensive Player of the Year candidate for sure. I think it'd be between Judon and Micah Parsons right now.
I mean, I think if the Rams are playing better, Donald would be in that mix. But
I'm over this Donald shit, man. Like I really am. He's a dog, but like
he needs to stop winning Defensive Player of the Years because
it's just like, dude, come on, man. Like it's one of those things where it's like, I don't know. I feel like LeBron could have won it for 6 years in a row or 7 years in a row from 2011 to 2015, 16. LeBron was the best player in the league.
Yeah, I mean, I look at like the MVP as like if you took this player off this team, is the team still good or are they shit? And that's why I think if a non-quarterback,
I agree with your Tyreek. They have Waddle, they have pieces.
Yeah, they have pieces still. Like you still have Tua, you still have Waddle, you still have Mike Gesicki doing the fucking gritty, his bootleg version of the gritty.
If I went off of your like mindset, Rob, I would take Jalen Hurts off of my MVP totem pole because I think you could let's say you put Justin Fields on the Eagles. I think they're still either undefeated or have only lost a game.
So then take my mindset in perspective. Who is your MVP that if you took him off the team's just absolutely dog shit at this point?
Josh Allen, for sure. With how many injuries they faced on defense, And I hate to say it, Stephon Diggs is obviously a top 3 receiver in my book, but who else do they have on that offense that's elite? Nobody. Singletary's solid. Gabe Davis is solid. Dawson Knox, serviceable. I mean, who else they got on that team?
Your team's really not that impressive.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm saying Josh Allen, man. He does everything. I guess, he's nuts. So, but I know we're on a time crunch. We only got a few minutes left. Let's jump into maybe our power rankings real quick this week, and then give our predictions. How about that for Thursday night's game?
Oh yeah, I forgot Thursday has. Oh God, NFL next year. Can we get some good Thursday night football games, please?
Yeah. I still have the Eagles at 1. I got the Chiefs at 2. I think they got kind of tripped up on the Titans are always tricky. They're always something.
Look, the Titans are probably one of, if not the most physical football teams in the league.
Yeah. So I got Eagles 1, Chiefs 2. I'm losing faith in the Bills, but I'll still put them at 3, simply because of Josh Allen. I have the Dolphins at 4. I think they're back. And I have the Ravens at 5.
Okay. I'll go. I'll do the Eagles. The Eagles, number 1, because undefeated record. I'm doing Bills 2. I think it's more about the Jets defense than it was against the Bills not being able to play. I mean, they have a really good secondary. So I still the Bills beat the Chiefs, and I'm going with that logic. So I got the Bills still 2. Chiefs 3, Vikings 4, and I'll throw shits and giggles. I'll still throw the Niners 5. I still think they have a fucking amazing team.
You don't want anything to do with the Dolphins or the Ravens?
The Dolphins gave up how many points against the Bears?
Fields is going off.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. This fucking Chicago Bears.
That's what I was gonna say, man. I think that the Dolphins, they're a poor man's Kansas City.
Yeah.
I think they're a Kansas City when Patrick Mahomes started his first full year, when they lost to the Patriots in the AFC title game. They're an offense that can win you any single game. But when they go up against an elite defense, which I don't know if they really have this year, they're gonna, be in a dogfight. And I don't think they're a very physical team. They don't have much of a run game, and it's all based off their play action pass with Tua. But
take us home, Who are your top 5?
That's just my thinking. I got Eagles number 1. I got Chiefs. I got Chiefs coming in at number 2, slightly above the Bills, simply because of what we saw last week. I think the Jets' defense is very much improved. Their secondary is good, but it's still the Jets, and Zach Wilson was playing opposite of Josh Allen. Josh Allen didn't play very well. I don't look for that to happen again when they meet up later in the year. But so Bills at 3. I got my Cowboys at 4, man. I got them at 4. Sitting at 6-2. I think that their defense has shown to be dominant almost through every single game. Yes, they gave up 29 to the Bears, but
but that was like points. Garbage. That was garbage time. Like that was like
that's
it wasn't competitive at all.
And this next 5? Pick last week is between Minnesota and Tennessee. This week is between Minnesota and Baltimore. And I'm going to join on Jake's train. I'm going to put the Ravens at number 5. They started the year in my power rankings. I think they've led by 10 points or more in every single game this year. Yep. Through 9 weeks, I think it's the first time in the history of the game.
Mark Andrews lately.
Now, the one thing I'll say about the Baltimore Ravens, I think they have a really deep roster all the way around. But if you lose Andrews in a key game or something, they have no other weapons, and Lamar Jackson may not be able to do it all every single game. So we'll see. But, man, they got to pay that dude. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're rounding out Minnesota 6. I'll put
so
Tennessee
who do you got?
7, San Fran 8. Actually, no, sorry. Miami 7, San Fran, or Tennessee 8, San Fran 9.
What's
I'll throw the
Thursday
Giants in at 10. I'll put the Jets 10. Fuck it. That's 5 extra.
Because God forbid that the Giants make his top 10. Here it is. The Eagles won. He can't have another.
You can't tell me the Giants are an elite team.
I would say Giants are better than the Jets, but okay.
Well, fellas, it's 9:45. I have a pregnant fiance laying in bed that doesn't.
Who do you got for Thursday night football?
Let's end this on our picks. Who you got, Jake?
I got the Falcons.
Yeah.
Give me Falcons too.
I'm gonna get the Falcons.
Get your wings out for it, Jake. You're just an eagle.
That's an eagle. That's only an eagle.
Alrighty, fellas.
Raise.
All right.
Well, yeah. Good episode, fellas. All of our viewers out there,
We'll
if
be
you don't
here on
mind.
Sunday. The squad will finally be back together for Sunday.
Yeah, that hasn't happened in a few weeks.
I'll be in Jackson, Wyoming. So I'll be definitely.
Jackson Hole.
Yep.
Cool, man. Enjoy.
We'll see you Sunday. For all of our viewers out there, make sure y'all like, subscribe, and follow.
Yep. Join the Discord too, and yeah, see y'all.
See y'all Sunday, boys.
Thanks for tuning in to the Off the Clock Show. If you enjoyed what you heard, go ahead and hit that like button. If you really want to show your support, please consider subscribing. You can also follow us at our social media sites listed in the description. We will talk to you next time. Off the Clock.